President Obama is getting it all off his chest tonight. Well, maybe not all of it, but he is unloading quite a bit on some of America's supposed best friends. Correspondent Kevin Cork has the story tonight from the White House.
Behind all the smiles, handshakes, and backslaps, underlying frustration. President Obama, who, perhaps feeling unconstrained with only months left in office, broadsided a key ally, British Prime Minister David Cameron, for ongoing chaos in Libya. In a wide-ranging interview with The Atlantic, the president singled out Cameron, calling him distracted in the wake of Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi's ouster, saying it contributed to the so-called S show that remains there. Further, he hammered allies for being what he called free riders, expecting the U.S. to do heavy lifting in places like Libya while investing little in their respective militaries, adding, quote, "I had more faith in the Europeans, given Libya's proximity, being invested in the follow-up." White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest, traveling aboard Air Force One with the president today, tried to downplay the criticism, saying, quote, "To put a fine point on it, no, the story in the direct quotes doesn't include a direct criticism of Cameron. Whether Cameron was stung by the president's rebuke remains unknown, with number 10 Downing Street tweeting, "There are complex challenges in Libya, and we support what must be a Libyan-led process. U.S. relationship remains special and essential."
Our coalition could have and should have done more to fill a vacuum left behind.
The White House says the president's remarks in September at the UN General Assembly underscored the complex nature of the Libyan crisis, and that his comments in The Atlantic shouldn't be misconstrued. But experts suggest the piece says as much about Mr. Obama's leadership as it does his values.
This article is about the president whining that the world doesn't operate the way he does. And anybody who runs a company or anything with people realizes that that's an abdication of leadership. That's not leadership.
And one more really interesting note from that Atlantic article. It was early in 2014 that the administration suggested the president heard from his intelligence advisors, Brett, and they told him that ISIS was of marginal importance. And it was also suggested from the administration that that may have come from CENTCOM Commander General Lloyd Austin, who essentially said, again, they're saying this, that he called ISIS a flash in the pan. And the president then later said that's why he referred to them as little more than a JV team. Now, it's important to also point out, Brett, the general and his team are pushing back, saying at no point did he suggest that ISIS was a flash in the pan, Brett.
Kevin Cork live on the North Lawn.